My name is Rafael, you're watching Rock and Roll Garage, and today we're going to talk about 5 movies from the 80s that Gene Simmons was part of as an actor. But first, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave your comment below, tell me if you watched any of these movies, and tell me what you think. Let's talk about it. Well, let's start. The first one we're going to talk about is called Runaway, and it was released in 1984. It is a science fiction movie. Besides Gene Simmons, it has Tom Selleck, who is probably one of the most successful actors in the 80s in Hollywood, maybe, and on TV as well. And it was received with mixed reviews, the movie. And it wasn't a successful movie at the box office. And Selleck is a police officer in the movie who is assigned to track down dangerous robots. And Simmons is a scientist who hopes to profit from his manipulation of the robot. So that's kind of the plot of the movie. And you know, none of these 5 movies Gene Simmons was part of were that good. You know, they didn't become real classics, or they were not really successful. But you know, by the fact it has some other interesting actors and Gene himself, it became kind of a cult following movies, but not that much either. So that's the first one, Runaway. Tell me if you watched or not, if you remember this movie. The second one, it's quite bizarre. It's called Never Too Young to Die, released in 1986. And it's got a really interesting cast. I mean, there is, I'm going to tell you the plot, and I'm going to tell you who are the actors in this movie. It is a action adventure comedy film. It's a mix of a lot of things. It was directed by Gil Batman. It starts, starring John Stamos as Lance Stargrove. He's a young man in the movie who, with the help of secret agent Danja Deering, who is played by the singer Vanity, that must avenge the death of his secret agent father. And that's interesting. The secret agent father is George Lazenby. George Lazenby was a Bond. He was James Bond in the movies. And he's the only actor who was James Bond only once. He was James Bond, if I'm not mistaken, in the late 60s. And then he didn't want to be the secret agent anymore, so he quit, and he didn't act in many other movies, but he didn't have a long and successful career. That was his biggest role, and I mean, it's just crazy that he is in this kind of movie, and he was the secret agent father, so there's a connection there. And to avenge the death of his secret agent father at the hands of the evil hermaphrodite Velvet von Ragnar, who is portrayed by Gene Simmons. I mean, the plot is just surreal, and imagine the movie, how the movie is. So it's not that good, but if you want to check it out, go for it. The next one is also from 1986, and it's Trick or Treat. It's a horror movie, and it also has the cameo of another famous artist, who is Ozzy Osbourne. And the interesting thing is that the movie has a rock and roll, heavy metal, hard rock connection, because the story is centered around a teenager who is haunted by the ghost of his rock hero. And Ozzy plays a tele-evangelist, decrying the evils of heavy metal music. So Ozzy appears preaching on TV how heavy metal is bad and evil and etc. And Gene Simmons was originally offered another role, but he didn't like the script. So he, at the end of the day, he agreed to only do a cameo as a radio DJ called Nuke. And that's what he did in this movie. It's not a big part, but he's there. He appears in the movie. Now this the run from 1987 is called Wanted, Dead or Alive, and I've watched this movie a while ago, and it's not that bad, but it's it's that common 80s action movie, and it's got Rutger Hauer, that you might remember him from Blade Runner and many other great movies. He did a lot of good action movies. He was a great actor, and it was directed by Gary Sherman and Rutger Hauer, as I said. And in the movie, Hauer is a Los Angeles-based bounty hunter, an ex-CIA operative, and he's asked by a former co-worker to help to track down a terrorist. And the terrorist is Gene Simmons. And in the film, Gene bombed the theater in the town, and he was planning to release gas from a chemical plant in Los Angeles. So, it's one of those 80s action movies, and it's not bad as the other ones I've talked about. Maybe this was the best one from this list, probably. And we move to the next one. The next one we listed is called Red Surf. It was released in 1989, and it shows a couple of surfers who also sell drugs and to make a living, and they're trying to set up a final deal with the local drug lord called Calavera when their friend is busted by the cops. And that's kind of the movie. It's a revenge movie. It's also an action movie, and Gene Simmons is also in it. Gene was involved with everything showbiz, during his career. I mean, it's not only it was never only Kiss. He always tried different things, and he did everything, even TV. He was into reality shows. He did a lot of things. He's quite versatile, and he experiments, and he was never only a musician. He's a businessman. He is a public figure and a politician, an investor. I mean, everything. I mean politician because he was now a politician, but I mean he knows about everything. He talks about everything, and I really see him more as a showbiz person than only a musician. He really advocates for everything, and that's the interesting thing about him. His career is much more than just being a musician, than just being Kiss bassist, songwriter, and singer. And that's it. I hope you liked the video. Tell me if you watched any of these movies, if you liked one of those, or if they're bad, and etc. Let's talk about this, okay? Thank you for watching. Please like the video, leave your comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you later. Thank you.